Hello, hello, welcome to Mindset to Results. And today our guest is Thomas Trautmann. He is happy tribe builder and he makes people smile and he enjoys doing that and see people happy. Hi, Thomas.
Hello, thanks for having me on the podcast. Super happy to be here with you guys.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm also happy to see you smile and that
Always. I will
yeah, and
tell you a trick after about the smile.
great. It is such a great mission to make people smile and to help people build business smiling. Yes, so
Yes,
it shouldn't be always so hard and all this so serious. Yes, sometimes we can get better results when we smile and when we take that think easy.
absolutely. As I always say, it all starts in your brain.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about you, what you do, and how did you came to this idea?
Well, so what I do is, in fact, I empower using brain science, using actionable brain science. I empower business owners to grow their wealth by usually 30% and improve their intimate relationships. How I got there is I was a few years back, 13 or 15 years back, I started this journey as a certified neuromarketing instructor. So neuromarketing is about implementing brain science into marketing and sales to get better results. But while I was training people into neuromarketing, I always got the feeling that something was missing. In fact, having once a conversation with my wife, it came out that what's missing is humanity. Even though neuromarketing focuses on the human brain, it was too focused on towards the the company success, and the people were not learning something for themselves. So that's why I created the ethical persuader system, where in fact you learn to drive from people the decisions you want, while those people make the decision they need by focusing the decision trigger in the human brain. So when you learn how to do ethical persuasion, you first learn something for yourself that you can then implement in your personal life as well as in your professional life. So that's how the ethical persuader system started. In parallel, because I'm a married business owner, I noticed that in fact there are still divorce lawyers, there are still couple therapies. So I think that if there's still all those things, that we still haven't resolved the problem of intergender communication. So, and I can only speak about male and female brains, okay? The ones who associate themselves to green penguins, I cannot help them. So male and female. So I created the neurocouple concept, which was again actionable brain science to improve couple relationships. And recently, end of last year in September, I got certified by Grant Cardone as a 10x business coach. So I said, okay, let's take all those things together and create a system which is called the impact system, which is a 6-step system starting with ethical persuasion, followed by intergender communication, and then we work on some money mindset. So how your own brain makes decisions for you to grow your business mindset. And then of course we go through marketing, sales, and the last step is about creating recurring business using the most fundamental societal structure of the human species, which is the tribe. So as you can see, it's always about the brain. And why the smile is so important? Because when I smile, a genuine smile, with the little wrinkles on the corner of the eyes, when I do that consciously, my primal brain gets a shoot of dopamine and endorphin as a reward, and it makes me smile more. And when I do that smile, you are smiling, by the way, just because I did the smile. So yourself are getting a shoot of endorphin. And even if you are not physically smiling, there is a theory called the mirror neurons. It means that when I smile, the neurons in your brain that would activate the smile, in fact, get triggered. So you still get that shoot of endorphin. So if I smile, you make other people smile, and maybe we will make a world, we create a world where our children will be able to smile. So that's the whole idea. So I'm selling free drugs here. It's called dopamine and endorphin.
Oh, I like those drugs. Okay, let's speak a little bit about how our brain makes decision. I think this is a very
Yes.
important topic because we are conditioned to make decisions a certain way. Some people take long
Mm.
time. They say, "I have to sleep with this idea. I need time to
Yeah,
research."
yeah.
Other people make decisions just fast when they see the opportunity and they know that they just make decision and they will figure out on the way. So let's speak about this, how our brain makes decision and how we can improve that in relating to our business growth.
Yeah. So, in fact, 97%, I would say, of people still think that the human being makes rational decisions. And it has been scientifically proven without any doubt. There is even a guy who got his Nobel Prize of Economics called Daniel Kahneman, who recently passed away. In fact, it has been scientifically demonstrated that we make primal decisions with the part of the brain called the primal brain, and only then do we rationalize the decision. So the decision time of the brain is 11 seconds. The brain makes a decision in 11 seconds or max 11 seconds. And then it rationalizes that decision. So the ones who do decisions very fast don't need rationalization. And then there's some people. I mean, I have clients because for some of my services that can be very expensive but very efficient need a long time to rationalize. It can take 6 months, it can take 1 year, and some others just make it in a few seconds. And you will see the same thing. When you go buy something, you may make a decision very quickly, or when you see something maybe on Amazon, you still need to think about it, you still need to rationalize it. But the important part is that decisions are made by the primal brain. And the primal brain makes decisions based on something called subconscious frustrations. So many people in the marketing and sales world talk about pain points, and they very often relate those pain points to business things. You know, his pain point is to make money. Her pain point is to grow her team. No, those are rational things. You know, the subconscious frustrations are, as their names say, subconscious, and as they are in the primal brain, they are made by a device that thinks about only one and only one person on earth, itself. It's a deeply human decision trigger. We only make decisions based on something that's very human. So, to help the audience to understand better, let's take the example of a CIO, Chief Information Officer, the guy in charge of the computers. You know, the usual way to go sell him, let's say, a new software, a new CRM or something like that, would be to go there and start listing all the nice features that it has. Yes, you can handle 10,000 more clients. Yes, you can have a team of 5 people connected to it. La la la. So that's rational decision driving process when you try to do it that way. And which usually it means that you lose resources because the primal brain, who is a decision maker, cannot relate to that. So it will default to something that is called getting as much of your resources as possible. Rebate, longer test periods, more features for the same price, stuff like that. Well, in fact, if you want to drive the decision at the real primal level, when you talk to that CIO, for example, it will be you will spend more time with your kids, or you will no more divorce because thanks to that CRM, you are going to get home 1 hour earlier every day. Your team is going to love you for that. So you see, I'm not talking about features. I'm talking about stuff that is deeply human. So that's how we make decisions. We make a primal decision, we rationalize it, and then we act on it.
Yes, and yes, it is very valuable. So how you know what those reasons for people? Different people have
Yes.
different reasons why
Yeah.
they would make the decision.
Mm. Yeah. We have plenty of subconscious frustrations. Plenty. You have to find the ones that are related to what you are doing, to the decision you want to get. Could be reputation, could be time, could be whatever. What you have to understand is that the primal brain, a guy measured that, the primal brain makes a decision only when it gets the feeling that it gets a gain that is 2.3 times higher than the cost of the decision. Because making a decision for the primal brain implies that it stops existing processes that are currently running. That's why the human brain hates making decisions. It hates choice. It hates wasting time on that. So it will cost the brain something to make that decision. So if I convert it to something that we can understand on 21st century, which is money, if you sell me something that's worth 100 euros, for example, the brain will get on the spot the need to feel that it will make a gain at least 2.3 times higher than the cost of that decision. So if I go back to my CIO, let's say I'm selling him a CRM for 1,000 euros per month, but if he can get 1 hour earlier at home, the time spent with his family is worth way more than 2.3 times 1,000 euros. So in that case, the gain is obvious. So you have to get to understand all that. So knowing what that subconscious frustration is requires that you perfectly understand who you are talking to and what could be the subconscious frustrations. And to help you, usually you go see a guy like me.
Oh, that is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how you can help people to make decisions better for themselves? Because some people they have this then tendency to postpone important decision. They know that they have to make decision, but they it is if it is big, they postpone it, and they keep themselves in the indecision and the
Mm,
procrastination. So
yeah.
would you like to share something like how these people can do better?
Yeah. It's there is one thing that you need to understand is how you yourself make decisions and what triggers these decisions. For example, I know that being myself a business owner is a decision that has been triggered a long time ago. I mean, even found some little toy where I already wrote an imaginative name of a company when I was a teenager. My dad was a CEO, so I think that one of the deep subconscious frustrations that drives what I do is proof that I can also be the boss, but
Mhm.
even better, creating my own company. Well, he was the CEO because he accessed to the job through his career, and I'm doing it on my own. So that may be one of my subconscious decision drivers, or just prove to people that I'm the one who can make it happen, even though it may be dangerous. So you already have to understand at what risk-taking level you are when it comes to decision. There are some people who are very conservative in their decision making, and there are some people who are very extreme in their decision making, who do decisions very quickly without assessing those decisions. So one thing that you can do is that you think about the decision you have to make, and then you postpone the decision making. So there are some people who are very good and then let it float like that until they make the decision, and they are the ones who make the decision on the spot. But I want people to do is when you have to make a decision, the decision has been made, right? It's just the
Mhm.
rationalizations that takes a long time or a very short time. But one good thing is to stop and think about it. So, which means that you start your rational process. Because the primal brain, we know, makes a decision very quickly. Our rational brain is 200 times slower than our primal brain. So that's a problem, even in your relationship, because rationally thinking helps you to validate your decision. But you have to have the time to get that rational brain to start the process, the thinking process. So one good thing to do is to write things down, because writing is a conscious effort. So then you can write, you can use many techniques, you can write 2 columns, the pros, the cons, and see what comes out of that. But be honest. Then you have to be honest with yourself. Then that's where there is a limit to how much I can help people. But you have to be honest with yourself when you write that down. Accept that if you're not a risk taker, that maybe it's the time to make to take that risk. And you will see, if you write it down, also if you're a risk taker, maybe you should rethink your decision. So those are techniques like that you can use. But try to have both brains work together. And that's the most difficult part.
Yes, there's another technique. If you cannot make decision, you can write everything, like, as if you think it is a problem, there is something that you cannot decide right now,
Mm.
and write the situation, just describe the situation on the paper,
Yeah.
and put it in the middle of the table, and sit in one place and think, like, look at this. When you take it out of your head, as you said, yes, put everything on the paper.
Mm.
So look at
Yeah.
this and think about the situation from your perception. Then
Mm.
go around and sit in another place physically and think as if it would be somebody else. For example, your role model, somebody who achieved bigger results and that
Yeah.
you admire, maybe somebody, and you think how that person would look at this problem or at this situation. Then change your place and sit there, like another place of the table, and also look at the situation like somebody else. And when you look at the situation from perception of different people, you can see that it is not even a problem, right? Because you will not see it only as you can see, but you will see as perception from different people.
Yeah.
And this is very good technique. Yes, just to take it out of your
Mm.
head, put on the, like, physical paper, and
Yeah.
look from it from, like, outside.
Yeah. You can
Yeah.
also, because you've made decisions your whole life. I mean, we make decisions all the time, even if your brain hates it. But you can go back to decisions you've already made, that may be decisions that are equivalent that the one you are making right now, and see what decision you made and what the result was. You can check it on a happiness level, you can check it on a money level, you can check it on a career level, whatever the decision implies. And look at your decisions. I mean, there is one thing I did once. I want to understand, to understand who I am. Everyone should know who you are. And who you are, it's not about being called Elena, because that's the first name that was given to you by your parents. It doesn't define who you are. There are many ladies called Elena. Your family name, Apagova, that's from your ancestors. It's not, it doesn't define who you are. You may be a business owner. It still doesn't define who you are, because there are many. So who are you at the very deepest level? I mean, it took me ages to get there. So I understand that I'm who I am the happy tribes builder. I need to get people together, make them happy, let them go, and start again. Well, the only tribe I'm trying to keep happy is my family, of course, but that's the most important tribe. But that's what I do. And to understand that, in fact, I once drove on a graph my whole career, and I placed the jobs I had with comparing happiness and money. In fact, I saw that the jobs where I was the most happy are not the jobs where I make the most money, because were jobs where I had the most impact on people. You see, so your listeners could do the same. It's an interesting exercise to do, and try to understand who you are, because that's also a way to get drive decisions from other people. Is when you really know who you are, you can start resonating with people. You can start creating content that works better with people. So that's also very important. There are plenty of techniques. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's speak about a little bit more about this, in regards with definiteness of purpose. Yeah, because it will help a lot to make decisions if people understand what is their purpose and what is their big goal. Once they understand their big goal and set
Mm.
it, then they just can identify everything that they want to decide, is it aligned with that goal or not, or it
Mm.
will take them side. So let's
Yeah.
speak a little bit about this, about definiteness of decision and the goal, right? Because I think this is the most related.
Sorry.
Because if people don't have the big goal, if they don't see where they are heading to, it will also affect the way how they make decision, because they don't know where they want to go and if it is good
Yeah.
for them or not.
Yeah, you see that very often with entrepreneurs. I call that, and some other call it the same way, the shiny bullet effect.
Mhm.
Where you because you don't know who you are, and your purpose, your goal, as you said, is you are just trying to save yourself, and try to find a way to to impact subconsciously your decision making process. But as you
Mhm.
don't know, you run after one thing, then you go run after the other one, and nothing works because you don't have the focus you require to get there. You don't have the right attitude, the right approach, the right actions to get there. But you still do that and you get confused. And the problem is that your potential clients, the ones who are going to resonate with you and help you grow your business, because that's how you grow business, you need clients, right? Because you are so confused, they are not going to understand what you are doing. They are going to get confused too. So you have to stop that crazy hamster wheel in your head. So you really have to understand who you are. And then there is another one. That's why are you doing what you are doing? You know? So, and in fact, what we just mentioned are in fact three of the four parameters of the ethical persuasion formula to get the best ethical possible persuasion. First, you need to understand what the subconscious frustrations of the people you want a decision from are. You need to understand who you are. You need to understand why you are doing what you are doing. And then finally, you need to use the tribal effect. But why you are doing what you are doing is super important. And that's, as you say, that's your purpose, that's your goal. I gave you mine. Mine is to get a better place, the world a better place for our children, where they will be able to smile. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. I could be an actor, I could be a clown. Well, but as I am the happy tribes builder, I am a coach, I am a trainer, I am an author to provide information that helps people grow and smile because they've learned something. So that's an
Yes,
exercise everyone should do.
yes, I am totally agree. And also, everybody is so unique, and everybody
Yeah,
is genius. And our mission is to find that uniqueness. It's like
yeah,
everybody comes here with certain talents and gifts which are very
mm,
unique only to this person, like a
yeah,
snowflake. There are so many snowflakes, but there is no even one the same
mm,
like another one, right? So I think that what makes really people feeling fulfilled and happy is to find in yourself, to find in your uniqueness, who you really are, what is your potential, why you are
mm,
here. Because
yeah,
everybody comes with certain mission to realize those unique talents and gifts.
yeah,
And when people find themselves, as you told, yeah, connect to themselves and find what is that there for them to bring on the surface
yeah,
and develop those qualities, right? Like when you know what is your strength and you go to that, you develop. This is how happiness come, because you do what you really love to do. You enjoy every moment, and you're
yeah,
not doing something that is your weakness, because you
mm,
understand that that's for somebody else, and you have to focus totally on something that is given to you, your strength. And when people are aligned with this direction, and then they set the goal which is also aligned with those set gifts which they have, this is helps them to set big goals, right? To set big goals and be determined, be
mm,
persistent, be consistent. And it also will help them to make decisions, because they already know this is what I'm heading to. So I'm
yeah,
laser focused to achieve that. And I know that it is already there. I just need to do every day what it takes to get closer. And this will help them to make decisions fast,
yeah,
even if they don't know how they will get there. But when they check it, if this decision helps me help other people, if it is aligned with my goal, yes, I will do that. So it makes
mm.
this easy with decision making process.
Yeah, and as a 10x business coach, what we do, we 10x we multiply by 10 your objectives, so that in fact you get, you may not reach the 10 times bigger objective, but at least you will overtake your standard objective. It will change your actions, your approach, your attitude, change so many things, makes you completely different. And if I may add, I think your listeners will have the approach to understand who they are and why they are doing what they're doing and have the objectives and so on. But there are a lot of people, I tend to use the usual 80-20. 80% of the people uh, don't haven't made the decision to get there, which is sad. I mean, I once had a conversation with someone. We're talking about the who you are, and that person said, "I'm a mom." I said, "Yeah, but there are many moms. What makes you unique?" "No, I'm a mom. That's all." I found it so sad, because my wife is a mom, but my wife is a unique person, and she can define who she is as a unique person and what makes her strength, what makes her so that I resonate so much with her, you know. And that other person, I'm a mom, and you could see it in her face, that there wasn't that little bright light in her eyes, that that yeah, that drives her. And that's sad. That's sad, because I mean there is so much in our brain that will allow us to go so far, do so crazy things. Yeah.
Yes, I think that people don't even realize potential that they have.
Yeah.
They just don't have that right attitude towards life to develop themselves, to grow
Mm,
and expand and explore opportunities. And so we have so much potential, and this potential is buried under different beliefs,
yeah.
different these viruses which society put, maybe family put when the children were small. And some people just accepted that. They just say, okay, I'm that, and that's
Yeah.
all. And
Yeah.
they don't.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I would say that it is like achieving big goals and even being on that track, finding your mission and finding big purpose in life. It is spiritual journey, and this
Oh
is
yeah.
the spirit. This is the spirit, spiritual part in us which
Mm,
pushing us to do more, to search for more, yes, to stretch every time. Yes, this
yeah.
should be, the spiritual part should be live. Yes,
Yeah.
and I find that people who don't just accept just misery or just average, I think that this is related to the spirit. Maybe the spirit is not that life, right? It doesn't
Mm,
mean that
mm,
it can be life, but people can, if they put time for their spiritual things like meditation, maybe
mm,
pray, and contemplating about just about the life, about source of life, about this universal intelligence. Yes, when people go to just even think about that there is something bigger than
mm.
just being mom or just being
Yeah.
somebody, right? There is something bigger, and everybody is a different level of awareness, right? Awareness, everything, and how we see the world. This is just depends on the level of our consciousness. Every level of consciousness will show a very different picture of
Mm.
outside.
Yeah. There is that. Excuse me. There is that saying. I can't remember who said that. Is that in fact you are the average of the five people you spend the most time with. So when you see that many people just always stay with the same people, how they cannot evolve out of that. It requires making the decision to go out and see other people. Some other good saying is that if you're the smartest person in the room, you are not in the right room. But many people are super happy to be the brightest person, because from the ego standpoint, that's super cool, because you have all that flock of people around you, and it makes you feel good, makes you feel great. But that's not how you evolve, how you progress, how you fulfill your most important objectives. Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Thomas, for sharing. So, what would be three teachables. I would like you to just share something that really people can take away from this conversation. Maybe some practices you can share, or something that they just can do to improve their happiness state. Just like smile more and grow their.
Definitely. Yeah, start the day by smiling. As soon as you wake up, smile. So I'm every morning when I wake up, I smile and I say 3 times thank you. Just thank you. Not thinking about anything in particular. I'm just saying thank you because I'm happy. So that's a way also to condition the brain. That's really one thing. The second thing would be when you want a decision from someone, and we always want decisions from people. I mean, just you guys listening to us talking on this podcast was a decision. Listening to Thomas, is it worth listening to that guy? That's a decision. But try to think about what drives the decision. What's the subconscious frustration in the person in front of you driving the decision to listen to you or to do something that you want? That will make you pay way more attention to the people around you. And the third one would be communication. Learn how to communicate, especially intergender. We don't communicate the same way. We don't use the same language because the female and brain males are configured at a different level. So give the chance to your rational brain, which is 200 times slower than your primal brain, to kick in the conversation and pay attention to what the primal brain is going to say, to maybe be able to stop it before it says something stupid.
Yeah, thank you, Thomas, so much. Yes, it is good way to start the day from smiling and from
Yeah,
being grateful, because we have so many reasons to be grateful. Yes,
yeah,
like it is a state of mind. It doesn't matter even what you have or what you don't have, and what you achieved or not. It is just state of mind. And when we are happy, when we're grateful, we attract better things in life. Yeah, it is like we are getting ourselves in the different frequency. Yes,
yeah, absolutely.
when we allow good things to happen, because if we're grateful for even little things, we will have more things to be grateful.
Yeah,
People who don't appreciate what they have, even small, they will not appreciate even bigger things, right? So
yeah,
because it is just state of mind. Some people, they have small and they're so happy, and some people have,
yeah,
you would say, everything and they still not happy, right? So
yeah, yeah,
this is just the way how people operate, and how they, it is habitual, right? Their attitude towards life. And remember that your attitude towards yourself, towards things you have, towards life, will determine the life attitude towards you.
yeah. And I know life can be shitty. Let's make this real, right? I mean, you had to run away from a war. It's not funny, but the idea is to stop being negative. Your brain loves to stick. I mean, once you're into negativity, the brain doesn't make hates to make decisions and hates to go somewhere where it's scary because it doesn't know how it's working. So it prefers to stay in a little place where even if it's negative, I don't feel well, but at least I know that I don't feel well. I may be able to feel better, but that's a bloody dangerous decision because I don't know what better means. So here's a little challenge for the listeners. Try for the next 24 hours to have absolutely zero negative thought. Each time you have a negative thought, you start again for 24 hours. I dare you, I challenge you to pass 2 minutes. I mean, I can reach 5 minutes before I have some negative thoughts. So try it. It's a funny game to play. It it will start you see things differently. I mean, I'm trying. I stopped listening to the news because the idea of the press is to send as much negative energy as possible, right? Negative news. So I stopped listening to the news. I don't read the press anymore. And surprisingly, my life is better, right? It doesn't mean I ignore everything. I, of course, interested to things that happen in the world. I prefer to have those informations from real people who live the life where they are as they live it. But try not to be negative. Don't allow any more negative thought in your brain. I mean, you can find something positive from even the worst shitty situation. I mean, Elena, if we take your example, you were in a very bad situation, but you made some decisions that allow you now to have this podcast, for example, to be surrounded by people who are interested in what you are doing, to share the information that other people like me have. That's positive. It comes out from something negative. You could have decided to say, okay, I am a poor Korean girl. My life is shitty. Please help me, la la la. No, you made decisions to go on the positive side. Stop with negativity. That's a very impressive example. So people do that. Try to find positive things even when you are swimming in the shit. It still means that you are swimming. That's positive.
Yes, it is always our choice what to think about. Yeah, and this is very powerful exercise that you shared, because everything starts with the thoughts. The
Hmm?
way how we feel and act starts gets the beginning in the thought. So if you
Hmm.
don't feel well, you can see what thought you had that made you feel not well. And when we create this habit to be aware of the thoughts
Hmm.
and eliminate negative thoughts, eliminate negative beliefs, it will be uh, reflected in improvement in our results. Because
Yeah.
if you have limiting beliefs, we can change replace them with empowering. And if you just work on one at a time, and you notice the same thought, because there are the same thoughts, like from 4 to 8 thoughts every day negative, the same. And if you don't get aware of them, they will just continue on an automatic basis, do the same thing, yes, to impact you not a good way. But if you become aware of those thoughts and you decide, okay, every time I hear this thought, this is what I will replace, like any phrase, even
Hmm.
something something funny, but you create that like autoresponder that you will change
Yeah.
that thought every time when it pops up in your mind, and you have a ready autoresponder, and just make something funny, silly, and you will see that it will disappear, right? That then you identify another thought. And this by consciousness awareness of the thoughts, because we said that many things happens at the level of subconscious. Even without you thinking, you make decisions, you
Yeah.
react, because this is mental activity. It is much more faster than consciousness when you think something. And you know that it is very funny number, but I really, it was very shocking number for me that 98% of people don't think.
Hmm.
98% of people don't think. Once I heard it from my mentor Bob Proctor, and another time I read it in the book Outwitting the Devil, written by Napoleon Hill.
Hmm.
And very interesting, because people think that they think, but they don't. They just have this mental activity and
Yeah.
conditioned patterns that brain automatically makes decisions, automatically reacts at things. And people think that they live this life, but they don't. They just are programmed machine. And till we get control and start consciously choosing instead of reacting how we want to
Yeah.
respond, instead of just procrastinating making decisions. So when we get into control, this is how our life will start change. So
Yeah.
the choice is always on you. Make conscious choice, make a choice that will make you smile, not only today but also in future.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
Thank you very much, Thomas, for being with us today and sharing your knowledge. And I appreciate and looking forward to speak to you again later.
Well, thanks for the invitation. Really appreciate it.